My friends, I struggled making this video, and it's not because I don't know what to say. I've got the talking points and I've been using this particular app for a long time. And it's not really because I was gushing about the tool. Yes, their company is sponsoring this video, but I've also been using it for 10 years. I think I struggled because I really haven't given the other platforms a fair shake. Yes, I've used them all, but I haven't used them as deeply as I've used the one I'm going to talk about. And I didn't feel like that was fair. So instead, what I'm going to do is tell you why I keep going back to this particular tool. Hey everybody, my name's Joe Casabona, and today I am going to tell you all of the reasons that I think LearnDash is a great platform for most small business owners to sell their online courses. Now, there are a lot of platforms out there. Teachable, Circle, and Kajabi are all very popular and have varying degrees of features. Teachable is probably the closest to LearnDash, apples to apples. Circle is great for community. I would not say that they are a great online course platform, even though they offer online courses as a feature. And I'm going to be totally honest, I've never used Kajabi. The cost versus the perceived value has never been there for me. And I also have opinions about all-in-one apps. I don't know that all-in-one apps are really the best because you want a tool that's going to be great at the thing they say they do. So today I'm going to tell you why I find myself going back to LearnDash and why I think as a small business owner, you should also consider LearnDash for your online course. But before we get into that, I will say that this video is sponsored by Stellar Sites and Liquid Web. I'll tell you more about them later, but I want to really drive home the point here that I have been using LearnDash almost as long as LearnDash has been around. I've been using it for 10 years. I remember when Liquid Web acquired LearnDash, and I was excited because I thought, what a great steward of the product, and they have not disappointed. So I'll tell you more about Stellar Sites later and why I feel even more comfortable recommending LearnDash now than I would have even around this time last year. So here are the 3 reasons I find myself going back to LearnDash or using LearnDash to sell my online courses. The first is flexibility. LearnDash is built on WordPress. So I can have my regular site and my online courses in the same place. I can use it and customize it the way I think is best for my users. And I know it will integrate with all of the tools that I use. I know that I'm not going to be locked in to a particular vendor because they want me to stay there. I think that LearnDash, really most WordPress-based tools are incredibly flexible because they are on an open platform. It is built into their DNA. And I remember when I used LearnDash for the first time, the owner, Justin Ferriman, the founder, reached out to me and asked if I wanted to give it a try because somebody mentioned it on my podcast. I was blown away by how flexible and how well thought out it was because Justin was from that space. And as somebody who worked in higher ed, I knew how important a good learning management system was, and I was impressed. I love the fact that I have total control over my platform because I want my students to have the best experience as possible. The second is cost. I mean, this is like a no-brainer. And I am somebody who pays for convenience a lot. I'll pay for like valet parking if I'm looking for a parking spot for like 5 minutes, I will pay for the valet parking just to get into where I need to go, which sounds bougie saying it out loud. But the point is, I'm not cheap. I don't think you should be cheap as a business owner, but there is a cost and a perceived value. And I know Kajabi charges around $80 per month if billed annually for all of their features. Teachable starts at $29 a month for the first 3 months, last I checked, and then goes up to $80 or $89 per month if billed monthly. And what are you getting for those features? Yes, you're getting the fact that you don't have to worry about setting up hosting or installing WordPress or anything like that. But you're also getting limitations on how many students you can have or how many courses you can sell. And that's just not a good perceived value to me. Yes, it's great if you're trying to get up and running as quickly as possible, or at least that's what it's been traditionally. For what you get versus what you pay, you are not going to beat a WordPress based tool like LearnDash. LearnDash, if you buy the plugin yourself and install it on your WordPress site, costs $199 per year. No limit on the number of students, no limit on the number of courses per year. And then ownership. This is a really important one to me. I'm not going to stand and deliver about ownership of data in the world of AI, but when you use other platforms, it is harder to get your data in and out. It's harder to add integrations or automations based on your content. I've had to fight a lot of platforms lately to get an export of my data, or they've just straight up told me it's not possible, that I'd have to copy and paste everything. And when you're using a platform like Circle or Kajabi or Teachable, then you're using their video upload tools and you're using their content management system, and everything is now in their house, in their walled garden. There's an uncertainty in that, right? I didn't talk about this with cost, but if you're on a platform and you're locked in, maybe you paid for the year to save that 20% or more, and they decide to raise their prices. Are you going to take the time to move everything to save what's perceptively a little bit amount of money, right? Over the long term, it's like the hourly rate, the cost benefit doesn't work out over each individual time. But if they keep doing it and doing it and doing it, then you're at a point where you're like, okay, I'm going to have to figure out how to get my data out of this platform. I'm going to have to burn a week or more migrating. So that's also something I'm always considering. I don't have to worry as much about migrating my data, because with LearnDash, I host my videos on Vimeo, and I know that I'll always be able to embed a Vimeo video somewhere. Try saying that 10 times fast. I messed up the first 2 times. I had to cut that out. I'm not worried that I'm not going to be able to take my data somewhere, because even if LearnDash disappears or if I decide to go somewhere else, that data is content in WordPress that I can export easily. And that's again, really important to me. So yes, when you are signing up for an online course platform, you want to consider things like features, how you're going to sell it, how easily you can get set up. Do they offer a community? Do you require community right now? Does it work with your email service provider? Can you use Zapier for automations? These are all considerations you need to make. But I would encourage you to think about those over the long term, because maybe those tools will let you get set up in an hour, but ease of use is more than just the first hour. How do you feel about the platform 1, 2, or 5 years down the line? Do you feel like you're fighting it because it's limited, or the feature they want you to have is on the enterprise plan? Because that's a bad feeling, especially when you might be locked in at this point, or you have to find a workaround. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Up until this point, WordPress has not been a cakewalk for a lot of people. It's not the easiest to use because you need to find hosting. You need to find a theme and the right design, and are you doing it right? And this is why I'm so excited about Stellar Sites sponsoring this video, because they have a new platform that delivers on one of WordPress's earliest promises, which is to make publishing as easy as possible. And with Stellar Sites, you don't need to have technical savvy. They combine the ease of use of Teachable with the flexibility of WordPress. And so we are looking at Stellar Sites. You can head on over to streamlined.fm/stellar to check this out. We're looking specifically at their learning package right now. So they have a bunch of different types of offerings. This is their learning package. You get LearnDash and everything that you need to create a online learning site. You get set up as quickly as you would on Teachable, and then you have a fully functioning WordPress site with amazing learning management system features. If we scroll down to the learning section, you get the course builder, assignments, a quiz builder, LearnDash Commerce. You have a focus mode. This is my favorite part of LearnDash, is like this really stripped down version of the online course where there's not a whole lot. The student can just focus. And then there's also certificate builders and video progression. So If you're looking for the ease of use of something like Teachable, but with the flexibility with all the things I just talked about, check out Stellar Sites. Again, you can head on over to streamlined.fm/stellar to learn more and sign up. You get up and running as quickly as possible. So you have that ease of use in the first hour, and then that ease of use and flexibility as long as you're selling online courses. I want to thank Stellar Sites and Liquid Web for sponsoring this video. I deeply appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you building and selling online courses? What are you using? Where are your headaches? Leave a comment below. If you liked this video, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. And until next time, I hope you find some space in your week. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching that video, and thanks again to Stellar Sites for sponsoring. If you want to know why I find myself going back to WordPress time and time again, despite trying a bunch of other tools, then check out this video over here. I go through my 10 or so reasons why. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe to this channel. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it.